modems. Can't get enough of them. Here we have, it's a bit of an oddity actually. It's the Avtek flash modem 288 V.34. So it's actually a Motorola chipset in an external modem. Now, the website, Goth, I cannot remember his surname, but it's pretty much Goth surname, and he does a whole bunch of things with modems and captured sounds. This one's interesting in the way that it's horrible. Now, you've seen other Avtek modems. They're typically black, very sleek, boxy. None of this rounded junk. That said, I don't hate this modem, but you can see it's got the two-tone going on, and that's because, well, if you've ever had a classic Mac, you know. So it's not terribly well held together because all the clips, this is where the clips would catch on. So this plastic isn't brittle, but the that capacitor. The clips on here they just disintegrated trying to open this. It has been recapped. Almost every capacitor was blown in here except for the one that would have been in the place of that one. While we've got it open, we might as well just have a quick poke around. We also ripped a trace there when removing. There were some SMDs. He's now ended up here with some hot glue underneath him. What series is that? I think that's an FR series. No, NHG. Wait, why am I using that there? I'll have to consult my modem chart, unless this is an AC power adapter. But then again, that might not be. It's these ones. That's probably why they were all blown. I need to check if that series is the right one to have in there. I think it's the only one that I can get to physically fit, but it looks like I put it on top of something. It's probably not a good idea. I think the original was flush with the case, and I didn't like that about a capacitor that big that can vent. Anyway, what are you gonna do? So as you can see there, we've got two lights. I don't know what they mean because the lid's not on. So we're dialing out using the old, what do we got here? So we've got power, on-off switch, wall and phone, and computer. Using a serial port adapter there. On the underside, what have we got? Anything exciting? Avtek. Flash modem 288, caution do not open. Not really possible to not open it anymore. It's a CD1500M. The M on another model signified, I think, Mac, and it just came with different connectors in the box. I do wonder if this might have been the same, but I have no way of telling. Power adapter needed is 9 volt AC, 1 amp, which is pretty standard. Interestingly, being an Avtek modem powered by a Motorola chipset, it came with a Netcom power supply. So if we have a look in here, so let's just should have a closer look at the chips. Chip. So we've got two flash chips over here. So the firmware's from sometime in '97. Can't see anything on that chip. I can read it. No, I can't. It's a Motorola chipset though, you just got to take my word for it. If you've got the ears for it, you might hear it when we dial up. So, in the configuration file, what we've changed is the baud rate. It is now a lot faster. That can go on, that shouldn't be up there at all. We've got the Blitzer, which was also the 1234 Avtek. So this is flash. This, we ran WV conf, and that's what it gave us. So we're going with it, and we've called it flash. So in order to dial, well, the first thing I want to do is turn off get rid of Ethernet. And we want to dial flash. Now, you might have heard there that little wobbly laser beam sounding sound. I didn't set it to connect as what actual speed it's connected at. Okay, fine, it's fine. It's a pretty cool dial-up sequence. We'll dial up again in a moment. Just gonna head to files.mcretro, which I can't because I'm gonna say we have lost it's gone. Give it its old name server back. Don't know why that keeps dying. If we try pinging McRetro now, we should be able to resolve. And as you can see, compared to the, compared to those 2400 BPS modems, the ping, most of those are under 500, under 400. It's actually pretty cool. I don't know what the heck it's doing now, so I'm just gonna, 4 seconds, we're not counting those ones. Jump onto files.mcretro.net. And because we're on, well, presumably on V.34. Haha. Things actually load in a reasonable time. So because of that, we can actually try navigating the index. Modem says, what do you say, modem? You gonna do it? Do the thing? Just load. And it did. Okay, we'll grab 32-bit Winamp. WinZip, not Winamp. Goose. Everyone loves a copy of WinZip. Seeing a lot of data transmitting back and forth. It's gone blink crazy. Now, unfortunately, in modern operating systems, there is a lot of stuff going on in the back end that you don't really see. This isn't installed, is it? Let's see if we can get it. It's just going to get angry because I'm also downloading over here. Probably should stop that. But look at that, 11 kilobytes down. Amazing. Much faster. Not too much faster. It's actually doing it. See, I couldn't get this far on the other modems, 2400s. I wish I knew what speed this had synced at. No way to tell. At least there's no way to tell because I didn't set the initialization strings. But that'll come down. That's, you know, it's got 8 kilobytes. I think we'll cut back. Let's cut back. All right, and we've cut back. I actually turned on Ethernet to download it because it was taking too long and had to disconnect the modem to do that. So if we... Before we continue, the dial is aborted. Please stop. It's not going to stop, is it? Good modem. The speed at which the Motorola runs at, so fast at dialing. I like it very much. Anyway, let's do it again. I'll be quiet this time. Had to have a bit of a think about that one. Probably just negotiating itself a better speed. Of course, if you connect too fast, you just end up getting it trying to resync everything. 0. Okay, so what we can do is, using this, we can actually look at packets. So we go and download something. If I'm lucky, it's gone. Files. McRetro. We can actually watch the packets flow across. Not literally, but if you watch those numbers, we've got 15 and 12. Now we've got 33 and 23. So they're going up, but you'll notice that the, so transmission, fine. No errors. RX. We're at 40, 47. It's interesting because one of the very first, now it might be a configuration setting, but what had actually happened is I was actually using this modem as my host, ISP side modem, not the client. And what was happening is none of my modems were connecting. They were all dropping and doing weird things. Looks like it's something to do with this little guy. He does something just different enough that it doesn't quite work. Banksia, Avtek, Netcom, most, if not all of their modems, excluding this one, are Rockwell chipsets. This Motorola is just, this is an oddity. It's a strange one. But it's here and it's ours. So now we've done, yeah, so 83, so it's higher, but it's about 15%. Jeez, 15% error rate, so not a terribly good error rate. But it might be doing it for the sake of speed, maybe. You've got to remember, back in the 90s, it was a long time ago. All right, let's can this. So if I stop this, we can actually jump straight into VirtualBox. And you will love what I've done with VirtualBox, probably. If it was still works, it may not actually work. Still kind of there. Yeah, can you notice that? $800 by 600 at 16-bit. Oh, it's insane. So when I booted this up the first time and had the modem connected, it automatically went ahead and detected and installed it. And I was like, okay, it's a bit aggressive. But if we go, have a look, it identifies it. There you go, as a Motorola Lifestyle 28.8 V.34 plug and play. So I don't, it's on COM1. It's got its baud rate set to 57,600, which is fine. That's standard, it never changes. And that's got those ones. Use error control, yeah. Tell that to Linux. So we should be able to just make another connection, probably. And I'm going to call it Moto. I'm going to choose the Motorola mode. The number can be as long as it wants because it's really quick at dialing. Let's see what happens in Windows. Happy to make those laser beam sounds in Windows as well. All good. Unhook, carry and detect, yep. Okay. Back to Windows. What did it actually connect at? 26400. Yeah. It's fine. To test this one, we'll go to a little corner of the site called geocities.mcretro.net. Sure ain't receiving a lot of bytes. Oh, disconnected. Heck yeah, I want to reconnect. When did Banksia drop? Computer you are dialing into is not answering. That's fair. I wouldn't answer if it was me calling either. Now that can just be due to latency in the VoIP line. Why did you stop? Poor Internet Explorer. I don't know what's causing it to abort. It's times like this, it's usually a good idea to unplug the USB on both ends, just in case there is something not quite right with the serial cable. Whoops. This VirtualBox really likes that to be there. Just shut that down. Plug it back in. Maybe give it an old power cycle. And find the modem, one that goes under here. So it would have to be that cable because there's only two cables. So you notice when the Banksy is unplugged, DTR goes off. And when it's plugged back in, MGetty just bounces back to life. Should have bounced back to life. Getty, what are you doing to me? I mean, you got to power cycle the modem. DTR, what are you doing to me? I will cut back shortly. I need to restart the Getty service on my server. And we're back. So I restarted the Getty service. We now have 2 LEDs. So these 2 are now going to be good. Now carrier detect, we're now connected to Moto, and carrier detect on that one. So sometimes what happens is these USB serial cables like to send gibberish down the lines, and generally a bad thing, but now we're actually getting some real data because, as you can see, that is flying along. But I guess it could also be that because using this guy results in errors, it could be that amplified. Try grabbing Winamp. Always wanted to try my luck at Winamp. Save it to the desktop because I can't think of a better place. So 26,400, that's pretty close to 28K. I do wonder how big each chunk of data getting sent back and forth is for it to fail verification and need to be resent. It's like 1 kilobyte a second. You'd expect that out of a, 9600 modem. But you can see the bytes received down there. We've only sent 7 kilobytes, but we've already received back 100. In the olden modem days, we used to use a program called GetWrite, which would allow resuming of downloads. So if you were downloading an MP3, for example, and it was on a website for some reason and not through what would later come, such as Napster, LimeWire, Kazaa, all that jazz, you would want it to resume. Because if it dropped out or you were connecting to a crappy Avtek flash modem rebranded Motorola that's possibly misconfigured, you'd want your download to resume. Yeah. But I think that's a pretty good tech demo of that one. I mean, that's working. I need to look into that capacitor, but apart from that, all is well. So thanks for watching. It's been good, I guess, except for the errors that we had. But when dealing with this sort of tech, it should always be expected. This is Shane McRetro signing off.